Derive y equals x to the 0.25 minus 5.7x over the quantity 1 minus x to the negative 2.9. We observe that this is a quotient. It is the top over the bottom, and so we will use the shortcut, the quotient rule, where we will label the top u equals x to the power 0.23 minus 5.7x. And we would also label the bottom v equals 1 minus x to the power negative 2.9. Using the quotient rule, we would need the derivatives of these expressions. And so the derivative of u is u prime using the difference rule and the power rule. The derivative of x to the 0.23 is 0.23x, and we lower 0.23 by 1. 0.23 minus 1 is minus 0.77. Minus the derivative of 5.7x is 5.7. For v, the derivative of v is v prime. The derivative of 1 is 0 minus, and then we bring down the power, negative 2.9 x. We lower negative 2.9 by 1, so we end up with negative 3.9 in the power. This is 2.9 x raised to the negative 3.9. Using the quotient rule shortcuts, the derivative of u over v prime is the square root of v in the denominator, and in the top, u prime v minus uv prime, where each of the components is already written down on the side here. The derivative of y is y prime equals, we would first need to square the denominator, which is 1 minus x to the negative 2.9, the quantity squared. In the numerator, u prime is 0.23x to the negative 0.77 minus 5.7. We need to put it in the parentheses because u prime is a factor that has more than one term. It has two terms here. We would need it inside the parentheses. But this is only u prime times v. V is 1 minus x to the negative 2.9. But we're not done yet. This is the quotient rule. It is not a bad idea to put it in the front of you. Minus u is x to the 0.23 minus 5.7x. And again, we would need to put each of these factors that has more than one term in a set of parentheses. V prime is 2.9x to the negative 3.9. The parentheses around this factor is optional because it has only one term. Regardless, we need to have u prime times v and then minus u times v prime in the numerator, and in the denominator we would need to square v. And this is y prime. In most cases, when we're asked to differentiate using the quotient rule, we do not expand the denominator. So we would leave the denominator 1 minus x to the negative 2.9, the whole quantity squares as it is. And we might not need to expand the numerator if it looks complicated. If it is simple, we might need to expand the numerator. But in this case, there is no need to. And so this is the final answer.